was supposed to learn this. I wrote it months and months ago, and I've changed it time and time again because things have changed and, well, as life does. So, unfortunately, I'm going to stand in front of you and read this because I don't like speaking in front of people. So I'm going to pretend you're not here, and I'm just going to read it. So, first of all, we'll start with hello, everyone.
Hello, Daddy.
The first slide you just stopped.
Hi, Pete. Hi, Pete.
Right, I'm going to carry on now. First, I'd like to thank Dean. His kind words were greatly received. I know you rushed it. You did a great job. I'd like to thank him for walking Layla down the aisle and for sorting out the DJ and PA system, which I hope you're all going to enjoy and hang around and stay for. So thank you, Dean.
Oh, yeah.
It's great to see so many of our friends and family here today to help us celebrate the happiest day of our lives. I know that some of you have travelled a long way to be here, and that means a lot to us. It wouldn't be the same without you all. So thank you very much. Unfortunately, it's not been possible for everyone to be here today that we'd like to have been, for numerous reasons, but we know they're here with us in spirit. They're not only in our thoughts today, but more importantly, they're here with us in our hearts. So, with them in mind, would you all please stand, raise your glasses, and join with me in a toast to have some friends and family. Have some friends and family. We'd both like to say a massive thank you to our parents for everything they've done to help us today, make today happen. Both of you have been very generous, and I'm sure that we would have done probably the same without you, but thank you anyway. I'd personally like to thank Sue for bringing up such a lovely daughter.
Yeah.
And thank you for making us feel so welcome in your family. And my mum and dad, Angela and Keith, who undoubtedly should receive a medal for the endurance I've put them through over the last few years. I'm not entirely sure this has gone to plan, but we're supposed to have some gifts to give you.
We have got gifts, I don't know where they are.
I think Ed is just on his way to get the gifts. So, if we can all have an uncomfortable silence for a minute whilst they fetch the gifts.
Do you know any jokes?
Yeah. I do!
Let's move on, sweetheart. You're saying it.
You're saying it!
Shout nice and clearly so we can hear it.
Why did Henry VIII have so many wives?
We don't know.
Because he liked to chop and change!
I've got one for you. Why does a squirrel swim on its back? To keep its nuts dry.
What do you call a sheep with no legs?
What do you call what?
A sheep!
What do you call a sheep without any legs?
Leopards.
Cloud. A cloud.
Sydney.
He's only got two hands, Pete.
Come on, Slade. Got any more jokes? Sorry, hang on. Hang on, we got more.
What do you call a deer with no eyes?
I have no idea.
What do you call a deer with no eyes and no legs?
Still no.
Right, now we'll have the uncomfortable silence that I was saying before. Whilst Ed rushes back to the office. You got any more? Mine are all unclean.
Switch it up a bit and do the other gifts first.
No.
Keep
What did Winnie the Pooh say when he got in? Honey, I'm home.
What's it called? A dinosaur with no eyes.
Who do you think?
Tyrannosaurus.
So I'm back on with my uncomfortable speech. As a token of our appreciation, Sue and Angela, please accept these flowers as a token of our appreciation.
They look a little bit wilted. Apologies for their bit.
Skills. You saved the day.
That's bad. What we do without you?
Also, I think you might have upstaged everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm nothing now.
No, Layla, you have to stay and drink.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The day's not just about you, it's about other people watching you.
No, it's about me.
All right, princess.
Silence!
Good work, Sid.
I do it and then Sid does it.
Apart from my wife, there are two other beautiful ladies here. My daughter Charlotte, who has done a fantastic job as a bridesmaid. Layla's the maid of honour. We'd like to thank them both. Hang on. We'd like to thank them both very much for being such wonderful bridesmaids, and not forgetting our handsome little best boy Sydney. I'd also like to thank James for being an excellent usher, for loads of jobs behind the scenes throughout the day, and generally being an untidy mess that he does.
I tried.
Yeah, you try.
Join me in toast for bridesmaids, ushers, and best boy. Bridesmaids, best boy, and ushers.
I got a grommet. I've always wanted this grommet.
What did you get?
That's for you, mate.
Cheers, buddy. Thank you. What did you get? Let me film it. You got an actual grommet?
Yeah.
There's always one! Timing.
Oh my god, I got the strawberry one.
Is that the one you wanted?
Yeah.
I'd also like to thank Mike. Where are you, mate? Where's Mike?
And I got a grommet bag.
Thank you for the load of the projector.
Oh.
I believe Chris is going to put
Oh, that's awesome.
use in a minute. I'm not entirely sure why, but I'm sure we're going to find out in a moment.
Yeah.
Next, I would like to thank my wife
Did you know what?
for agreeing to marry me and for making me the happiest man in the world.
Rouge.
For those of you who truly know me, they know I'm prone to exaggerate things on occasion. Well, you'll all agree, thank you, you'll all agree, I'm not exaggerating when I say Layla looks absolutely gorgeous today. And when she walked up the aisle, she took my breath away. If I had to single out one thing I love about Layla, it would be the fact that she makes me feel happier than I ever dreamed I could be. And I intend to spend the rest of my life making sure the reverse is also true. Having lived with Layla for a couple of years now, I've learned a valuable lesson. Oi! Shut up! I've been dreading this all day and you... I can't swear, I told you over me! Right, having lived with Layla for a couple of...
Look, you can get my grommet out.
Having lived with Layla for a couple of years now, I've learned a valuable lesson. When I'm wrong, admit it. When I'm right, keep quiet. And never, ever bend the truth. Black Lion, when's your next birthday? Also, living with my stepson Sydney, I've learned it is possible to clean all the major food groups out of carpets. Pen will come off painted walls, and it is entirely possible to store sweets and chocolate in your trouser pockets for weeks at a time. On a serious note, I'd like to thank Sydney and Charlotte for letting. I'd like to thank Sydney. On a serious note, I'd like to thank Sydney for letting Charlotte and I into your life. I love you and Charlotte very much, and I'm going to do the very best for you I can in my future. So, one of the joys of being a best man. That's not right, I'll start again. One of the joys of being a man. I get that. One of the joys of being a man at a wedding is that things seem to organise themselves. The last year has been a blur, and today has arrived without any major hiccups. Well, apart from the fact that our first reception venue burnt down, and we had to find somewhere else. So I believe that's probably been a blessing in disguise, because we've ended up here, and I'd like to thank Ed and his team for helping to make today a great day for Layla and I. I know that Layla put a huge amount of effort into telling me exactly what we wanted to do today, and I think I've done a perfect job in making sure it happened. Please can I ask you all to stand for one last time and raise your glasses to my beautiful wife. If I can keep attention for like another 12 seconds or so, that'd be awesome. Thank you.
Keep going.
Now, there's an unwritten rule of wedding etiquette that states that nobody should look more handsome than the groom. And I'd like to thank my best man, Chris, for sticking to that to the absolute letter rule. Cheers, bruv. I'd also like to thank him for organising my stag do, which all of you here went to, I think, thoroughly enjoyed. Really? Well, mate, you weren't around. Throughout the years, he's been there for me when it matters, and is always there with an encouraging word, or probably not, and a welcome bottle of beer when things are going badly, and if I'm being brutally honest, even when things are going well. Whilst we didn't get along in our early years, I think that's added to why we're such great mates today. However, I might feel differently in a moment. Well. There is something I need to make you all aware of, and that is that Chris suffers from a strange condition that occasionally causes him to drift in and out of weird fights of flancing. That didn't come out right, but you know what I mean. He's been known to make up fictitious stories, absolutely believing
Wrong brother.
Correct. As I say though, he's been there for me, and I wouldn't want to go upsetting him, so if you could all please bear with him, even join with him in his journey of make-believe, I would appreciate it. So without further ado, I'd like to hand over to my brother Chris.
I haven't learned mine either. I'm not going to lie, I'm just lazy. Hi everyone, for those who don't know me, I'm Chris, Pete's younger brother. Thanks for coming. If you can't see the screen, can you try and move so you can, otherwise this is going to be rubbish. Okay. I do suddenly feel more nervous than I'd expected after my brother's commendable speech, so please bear with me whilst I bumble through this. I hope you all agree with me.
Bro, can you move left a bit?
It's fine.
That's perfect.
Where was I? If you bear with me whilst I bumble through this, I hope you all agree with me that the wedding and both the venues have been brilliant. So I'll crack on so we can all get drunk and trash the place. I'd quickly like to thank the bridesmaids, what great friends you've been, to get Layla here. Good work. It goes without saying you look lovely today. I'd also like to thank my channel. Making me his projector. Okay, despite what my parents might claim, I've known Pete and I've hated him longer than anyone else. So it's quite stupid of him to pick me as his best man. I'm under strict instruction from my mum to not completely embarrass him. But I'm taking my golden opportunity, so sorry, Mum. I'd like to state that I think it's actually getting increasingly hard to write a best man speech in this day and age. Especially when you consider the fact you can easily search the internet for best man speeches, of which you're then bombarded with countless how-tos, YouTube videos, blogs, etc. So I've attempted to write a completely original speech. Therefore, I'm sorry if it's a little tedious. On that note, and on this beautiful snowy day, I'd like to congratulate Richard and Sarah here in the snowy Sorry, Layla and Pete, it's too late in the day to substitute me. For this reason, I'll save my compliments for the end of my PowerPoint lecture. And this is a lecture, and not a speech. As I hope Layla being a... Layla? That was the other girl.
One other girl.
As being a being a teaching background, might be slightly more understanding. Hopefully you'll forgive me and ultimately Pete for what I'm about to disclose to everyone here today. I must also apologise because I've been led to believe that a one-liner is not enough for a best man speech. On the other hand, I've also been told that I can't ramble on and on, as today is apparently not about me. I can remember from a very early age. You done? Right, I can remember from a very early age. In fact, I think I was about 3 days old when it became very clear to me that my brother was jealous of me. This was the start of a seriously unhealthy rivalry that would last the best part of 2 decades. You might be thinking, surely not. You two are comparable to famous siblings, such as the Wright brothers, Prince William and Harry, the Mario brothers, the Mitchell brothers, and of course, Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen. Oh no. But imagine this, you had me, the younger, more intelligent and cunning, cuter, more modest and charismatic brother, and then you had Pete.
Wow.
I thought I'd burnt all copies of that.
I knew from the day I saw Pete on his first day of school everything would be alright, because no matter what... Why's that working? There we go. I knew that I'd always be cooler than him when I went to school. Right, in spite of all my efforts, Pete did have a happy childhood. And he had some great friends, of which a number of them, for some reason, are still his friends. And are obviously here today. I would love nothing more than to stand here and present to you numerous embarrassing stories of Pete. In doing so, living up to one of my many nicknames, which in this case would be Evil Sid. However, there's one major blotch in this seemingly flawless plan. Oh, my teeth back in. Around 95% of these stories would implicate me. And let me tell you, I haven't worked as hard as I have to become the favourite Sidwell son. To throw it all away in 5 minutes. I do love that. So I I've gone for a slightly different slant, and I'm going to talk about the three main things my brother's obsessed over throughout his life. First thing was bikes. My parents were kind enough to buy Pete numerous bikes as a child, but the obsession started when my parents bought him a geeky rally racer. This was followed by his pride and joy, which he paid for mainly through a paper round, which was the specialised hard rock. A long time went by until he got around to buying his next bike, correct me if this is wrong, the Gary Fisher Who Cooey Coo. This was unfortunately stolen from his CCTV protected secured private underground garage. Was it not?
It was.
It was.
Anyway, this bike was replaced by a specialised rock hopper, which he still has. What's going on? Which he still has today in his garage collecting dust. This nicely leads me on to a story about my brother and bikes. As you might know, he's not the most competitive or sporty.
That was pre-battle time!
As a child, he excelled more at video games, sitting in a chair, mindlessly staring at a screen, slightly dribbling. No wonder he decided to become an engineer. But there was this one occasion of competitiveness I'd like to share with you. Someone on our street, who as I remember was a complete pleb, challenged my brother to a race up and down the street. Strangely, my brother accepted. The only issue was his bike was in for repair. No need to worry though, as the other child conveniently had a spare bike, which he stated was fast but had slightly worn out brakes. Undeterred, Pete agreed. So off they set. It started off a close fought race, until my brother suddenly found an inner spirit of the animal kingdom. He suddenly raced into the lead. He crossed the finish line with at least a 10-metre lead. He had the biggest smile of joy and smugness, these emotions consuming his entire body, until, of course, he attempted to brake. I remember the look of despair that suddenly masked his face as he inevitably smashed into a fence and then the ground. Of course, I was on hand to laugh, run home and tell our parents how stupid he was. This was the beginning of the end for his love of bikes, and so began his love of cars and his second obsession. Now, my brother has owned approximately 10 cars of note, so I'm not going to go on too much detail about them, as I'm sure he's bored you all at some point how his Vauxhall Nova SR was in fact fitted with Porsche parts but was restricted. Or how his 16-valve Clio Williams replica went 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds. Or how almost all his cars, somehow according to him, were the fastest in the world. In fact, the universe. This was except for our dad's company car, Vauxhall Vectra, which I won't talk about. In spite of myself and approximately all of Pete's friends taking the mick out of my brother's slightly exaggerated stories, he stuck to his guns and finally bought a car, arguably worth his detailed descriptions. This was his Subaru Impreza WRX, or as Charlotte, his daughter, called it, Daddy's bumpy car. This was the taster he required. Suddenly all of Pete's previous cars were referred to as slow old rust buckets. And so we finally come on to his BMW M3. I don't need to go on much about his M3, you all probably know it, you've all heard it and seen his hideous green wheels. James and Luke from Reedish Motorsport probably hate it by now, except for the fact it's probably paid for a few of their holidays. Or not. Even I'll admit, it's pretty fast and fun to drive. Yeah, as someone who's been there through thick and thin with my brother, I know for a fact his love for this car is fading. It's quite clear that his new obsession and love is for Layla and of course Charlotte and Sydney.
Happy married day.
So we're nearly at the end of my lecture, and although, as I'm sure you'll all agree, I've painted a lovely picture of Pete and his weird obsessive behaviour, you probably can't believe he's had that many worthwhile accomplishments. But today definitely counts as one, because he's landed a great wife in Layla. It's also hard for me to believe, even now, that the brother I used to trade punches to the face with on a daily basis got married today, especially with me as his best man. In all honesty, I couldn't really ask for a better brother. Well, not anymore. I can't think of another couple that are as perfect for each other as you two weirdos. You're both wonderful people, and I count it as a blessing to call you both my friends and now my family. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I ask you to raise your glasses and toast to Pete and Layla, the newlyweds. We wish you well for the future.
Pete and Layla.
Do you know how heavy it is?
Is that right?
It's made of...
Well done.
Oh.